Welcome back everyone, Prakash Narkad this side. This is video 8 and here I'll continue with creating thread safe WebDriver instance. Okay, so in my last video I did spoke about creating browser factory, which was the part 1 of this particular video. I'll say this as a part 1 and this is going to be part 2 now. Part 2 where I'm going to create a driver factory. In the previous video I did created browser factory. So when I say browser factory, it was something like I did created a instance of WebDriver. Let me go to my Eclipse, and if you see here, did created something called as browser factory and did return a WebDriver instance. Now this particular WebDriver instance I want to make it as a thread safe, right? So to do that I'm going to create one more class called as uh, what should I call this? What did I mention over here? Driver factory. We can give any meaningful name. Let me give it as a driver driver factory. Okay, let me delete out this. Okay, now in this particular driver factory, as I told you earlier, I'm going to use something called as thread local. So thread local is basically a class. Okay, and this particular class belongs to java.lang package. Okay, we can see that java.lang package is belongs to, and it is mainly used for threading. Okay, so we know there is some concept called as multi-threading, right? So the same purpose can be achieved with the help of this particular thread local. So to just to understand the concept of multi-threading quickly, so there is a concept, there is another class called as thread. Okay, so we can create multiple threads and we can start those threads and stop those threads, and there are multiple stages of those threads. So that is something we do use in actual Java development. Okay, but in order to use that, what we need to do is we need to create synchronized methods. Okay, so the advantage of not using this particular thread versus using thread local is I need not to create synchronized method, because this I'll come to that. Okay, why? But we are going to use something called as thread local. So this Java thread local class, it enables us to create a variable that can only be read and write by the same thread. We can create multiple threads, but uh, they can be read and write by only same thread. Other thread cannot see what other thread has. Okay, thus it's like even if two threads are executing the same code, and yes, that's what we are going to do is we are going to execute our 5 test cases, or at least 3 test cases in parallel, just to save our time, right? So if we are executing multiple threads at a time, then using the same code, and the code has a reference to same thread local variable, the two threads cannot see each other's thread local variable. That means the Java thread local class provides a simple way to make a thread safe that would not otherwise possible, right? So okay, let me put it in a bit different way. Okay, so you can understand these things. That's pretty simple to implement, not much complicated. We just need to use some concept called as thread local. And what, as I told, this thread local, in by using thread local, each thread maintains its own copy of data. Okay, and so when I say copy, what that mean is it is stored in the form of something hash map. Okay, and we know that hash map stores a key value pair data, right? So that hash map specifically is called as thread local map. So this is the internal hash map to thread local, which stores the data in key value format. Okay, the key basically it corresponds to thread local themselves, Therefore, when a set and get method called on the thread local, it looks at the current thread only, finds the map, and look up the value with this thread local instance. This means current thread local instance. Okay, we note that map contains key value pair. Okay, we'll understand in bit more details. Okay, but for now, point to remember is thread local contains the internal thread local map. Okay, where the threading information is being stored. And I did use the word called as set or get data, right? So when we create a thread local class object, we have couple of methods called as set thread local value, set method for setting a thread local value, and get method for getting up the thread local value, and there is one more method called as remove thread local value. So all these three methods we are going to use. Okay, so just hold on for a couple of minutes, I'll come to actual demo how we are going to do that. Okay, now one quick benefit of using thread local, I already spoke about this. A thread local makes multi-threading easy by not sharing the state of an object across the threads. I told you, right? So for using the threads, if you're using thread is equal to new thread, and then we need to start that thread, and the particular method should be extended by runnable interface, synchronized methods and all, right? That is required in case of thread. But in case of thread local, multi-threading is bit easy because it does not share the state of the object across multiple threads. Since state is not shared, so you don't need to have a synchronized methods. That's the main point here. Okay, so when I say synchronized, we should have bit understanding. We can create any method as a synchronized method. When I say synchronized, that means if one thread is using particular method, other thread cannot use. That will hamper performance, right? Other thread need to wait till the that particular method gets executed by other thread or released by other thread. That is something called as synchronized. Okay, now let me come to actual code, what we are going to do here as a part of our driver factory. Point here is we are going to use something called as thread local. Let me come here. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to use couple of concepts. Okay, so the very first thing is there is something called as design pattern. Okay, now why this design pattern came in between? Okay, so design pattern is just a concept. What it talks about, it represents the best practices for better design of your system architect. Let me put it. Represent, I'll just put it in short, represents the best practices. And now we are going to see two design pattern within the same class. Okay, and what are those? First one is singleton design pattern. Okay, and the second one is factory design pattern. Okay, both of these we are going to learn over here and going to implement in the same driver factory. Okay, now as I said, we are going to use something called as thread local. Okay, so you see thread local is a class which belongs to java.lang package, and you see the java doc reference over here. Okay, so they have given what and all we need to do. Okay, so for creating thread, okay, if I can copy this particular stuff here from here itself. Okay, thread local, now it is I need to pass what type of thread local it is. Okay, so in my case it is like what I'm going to store in my thread local, so we should be clear. So we did created a browser factory which return me a WebDriver object, and that particular WebDriver object we are going to store under thread local, right? So here it should be my WebDriver, thread local of type WebDriver. Okay, and let me give some name. Let's say it as a driver is equal to new, and thread local, it's just like I'm creating object of that particular class, web driver. Okay, and now the code snippet what I copied here, it was something like this. Okay, so you see, there is some method called as get method. You see, there is some method called as get method. Sorry, here there is some method called as get method, and okay, I don't see any set method in this particular snippet, but there is some method called as initial value. Okay, so if you want to assign any initial value to the thread, you can do that. That is possible. Okay, in my case, I am not going to assign any initial value. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to remove this particular snippet, but just one more point here is we are going to create it as a singleton class. Now, what it means when I say singleton class? Okay, so singleton class is nothing but only one instance exists ever. So singleton design pattern means only one instance exist ever. So for now this would be bit difficult to understand, but believe me, once we write the complete code, it is going to be very easy. Okay, and when we create only when we say we are going to create only one instance for singleton design pattern, along with that it should also provide a global access to that particular instance by creating get instance method, because we need to access that, right? I want to create instance only once, but that should be accessed multiple time. How? By creating, let me write here, provide global access to that instance, excuse me, we are going to create a method called as get instance. Okay, and that's how we are going to achieve singleton design pattern. Singleton design means we are going to create only one, we are not going to create, but at a time when instance will get created, instance is going to be created by factory design pattern. And how it is going to be created, that is going to be only once. Okay, so when I say I don't want anyone else to create instance of this particular class, that's how I can use this singleton design pattern, right? I say singleton design, that means only one instance should exist, right? Other guys should not be able to create instance of my class, right? In that case, what I need to do is, what happens, see, what happens when we create the instance, constructor get invoked. Now I want to restrict someone for creating object of this class, right? So what I'll do is I will create its constructor as a private. So if I create a private constructor, that means other guys cannot create instance of this particular class. Let me put it here for your understanding. Okay, I did created a private constructor. Great. Now, what I said you is we should create a method to provide a global access, right? And I'm going to create a method called as get instance. But what instance? Instance of my current class, right? So in order to get the instance of current class, I should create a static reference, and that is what I am going to do now. And that is, again, I am going to make it as a private static driver factory, and I'm going to say it as a, let's say, instance is equal to new. I'm just creating a instance of current class, and I am making it as a private. Okay, and why it is? Because I am making the class as a singleton by by defining this as a private. So I should provide a global access, other guys should be able to access that. And I'm going to create one get instance method. When I say get instance, what instance? Instance of this particular class, that means this particular instance which I defined earlier, right? So what I'm going to do is, now again a static method I'm going to create, public static, and what I'm going to create, public static void get instance. Okay, and what this method is going to return me, give me a minute, it is going to return instance. Okay, and when I say okay, so when I say return instance, it should be of type driver factory, not a void, and it should be static. Okay, now what this particular method will do, it will return the instance of current class, right? Because I cannot initialize it because I made it as a private constructor. So I'm going to get an instance of this particular class by using this particular static method, right? And whatever we did till now, this particular stuff, it is like by creating this particular stuff, we did achieve something called as singleton design pattern, right? Why we need singleton design pattern, that is not we are going to discuss now, but that is very important when we create a design factory pattern design, right? And factory pattern design is our main aim now. So till now what we created is we created a singleton design pattern where only one instance of that particular class will exist ever, right? And we have a global access provider here by using get instance, which is a static. Okay, now let us come to our actual point. Okay, so what give me a minute. Okay, so yeah, and one point why we are making this particular variables as a static, because we will have only one copy of instance variable per class. Okay, we don't want to make it as instances, multiple for instances. Okay, now let's come to our actual aim, what we have. So thread local. So thread local, as I spoke, it is a class which provides a thread local variables. Each thread holds an implicit reference to its copy of thread local in the form of some hash map, thread local map. Okay, as long as the thread is alive. So there are some states of thread okay, that is not a part of our scope, but yeah, there are multiple scopes of your thread, and that will come into picture when you are using thread methods. Okay, now as I told earlier, we are going to create couple of methods called as get driver and set driver. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we are going to create couple of methods, public void get driver. Okay, and next method I'm going to create public void set driver. Okay, and one more method I'm going to create here. Give me a minute. Public void close browser. Okay, so I'm going to implement these three methods now with the help of this particular driver what I declared earlier. So when I say uh, I have defined this thread local. So when this thread local will get invoked, it will create one copy. Okay, so for each threads, it will create those many number of copies. Okay, now before I get the value of driver, see, thread local stores the data into hash map format. So before I retrieve the data from it, I should set the data, right? So I need to create a set driver method first. And what I'm going to set in this particular thread local, I'm going to set the web driver. From where I'm going to get the web driver? I'm going to get the web driver from this particular create browser instance class. Okay, and here what I'll say, under this particular set method, what I want to set, I want to set a current thread copy of this particular thread local variable with specific value. So when I say value, that is a WebDriver reference, right? So what happened? What I need to do is I need to ask for provide me the WebDriver reference, which I need to set here. So I'll say driver parameter, and what I can do is I can simply say driver, right? Now what is your driver? Driver is a variable of type thread local, which is of type WebDriver, right? And I told you there are three methods, get, set, and remove method, right? So now I want to set the value, so I will use a method called as set, and here my value is driver palm, right? Now this particular set driver will set the web driver into thread local, Great. Now once it is set into thread local, I need to retrieve its value. And how I am going to retrieve it? I am going to retrieve it. Okay, I should return it basically. So when I say return, I should not put it as a void. And what I'm going to do is driver dot, there is a method called as get, right? And I should change the return type to WebDriver. Now how the flow will be. Initially, we are going to call this set method, and within set method, we are going to pass this WebDriver parameter. Now this particular driver will get into thread local hash map. Now, when we call this get method, only that particular uh, driver object will get returned. That's what this get driver method will do. Okay, so yeah, so these two are important method which we are going to call. Now, this close browser method I am going to call in after method, right? I want to close only current driver instance, right? Because in my thread local, I'll be having multiple, right? So I should make sure that, uh, because let's see, I have 5 tests running. My one test case is ending at, let's say, only in 1 minute. One test case is taking 1.5 minutes or something like that, right? So only respective test sets should end when I call driver dot quit or driver dot close, right? And how I will get to know that? Into this particular class only, because I know those it state here. So what I'll do is I'll say driver dot, I want to close, right? But now I cannot close it because first I need to retrieve it, right? So what I'll say, driver dot get, that is get the current instance, dot close, that is close the driver. And once I close the driver, I told you there is one more method called as remove method, so that it will remove the current driver copy. Once I am done with my work, I am going to remove it from this particular thread local class, right? So I'm not going to put all those description over here whatever I did mention, but quick point, this thread local, this is the main line thread local. We are just creating object of this particular thread local class, which provides the thread local variables. Each thread holds an implicit reference to its copy of a thread local variable as long as the thread is alive. Okay, and then we did created couple of methods, 3 methods. Get driver, this get driver method will return the current thread's copy of the thread local variable. But before we get, we should set it, right? So we are going to set driver and we are passing the web driver reference, right? And whatever stuff we did over here, this particular stuff is called as a factory design pattern, right? Now what is factory design pattern? Let me put it over here, one liner. Factory design pattern, it is something like we are going to define a separate factory method, separate factory methods for creating objects and objects and create the objects by calling that method. Okay, so we did achieve both things, factory design pattern and singleton design pattern. Overall we are following design pattern, right? Now what will happen, however number of threads you want to invoke, it's uh, each thread's copy will get stored into thread local, and whenever you want to access the respective thread, it will get called. Right. Now, how we are going to call it, that is something I will explain in my next video. This is going to be very long, so I'll cut it over here. But yeah, I think that's it. We are done with this particular test base. Now, whenever we want to set the driver or whatever we do in before method, what we are going to do is we are going to first set the driver and then get the driver. That's it. These two things we are going to call into our before method where we do actual driver initialization. So what's the use of this browser factory? In browser factory, we are returning WebDriver. That is what we are going to pass under set driver, right? So both are linked. We'll understand in the next video. So I hope this is pretty clear now. If you have any questions, please do post your comments. Thank you.